Hello, gorgeous everyone. It is another day, another time, and it's been a while. It's time to talk about another plant that I deeply resonate with, so much in love, and I think it's so underestimated. But take my words, a couple of years' time, months, weeks, this plant is gonna be the burning runner everywhere. Actually, I have to say, in some fields and areas, it is already quite popular and famous, but we're not talking about it. So the plant I want to talk about, it is like liquid gold. I mean, come on. That's why you see gold is happening here. Obviously, it is frankincense. Frankincense is the resin that they burn in churches and have for many, many years. So we can always say, whatever happens in the church, there is a reason for that. And it is a very powerful cleansing plant in one way. And that's most likely what I would say that the church is using it for. But this is not all there is to this plant. Obviously, never is. I unfortunately don't have the plant itself here. It's somewhere in a storage space, in my storage space, in a box. And I don't know where it is right now. But you can definitely buy it in these little like droplets, which are hard and you can melt them on like I don't know what they're called in English. Burn a candle underneath it and then it evaporates. Or you can buy the essential oil, which I have, or a spagyric, which I also have, because this is a resin that you can actually take inside of your body. But more to that later. Because first of all, I want to say for me, this is a plant that the ancient cultures have known about. If you look at images from Egypt, like the drawings, you can actually see frankincense was often on it. And I mean frankincense and or myrrh. It is like this golden kind of little or yellow kind of little stone, and that represents frankincense. So they always knew about the powerful frankincense is a resin from a tree that grows in very, very hot climates. The one I have is, I think, both, I think, from Oman. And it is in itself, I would say, part of the elixir of life. So frankincense in our body, it kind of removes or helps with any inflammation we have. Isn't that insane and crazy? And it especially is also super powerful for anything that we have in our mouth. I mean, like any inflammation, whatever. It is just this absolute gorgeous thing. And that's on a health level. It helps with the inflammation. What it does on an energetic level, because as you know me by now, you know I like talking about all these different angles there are. On an energetic level, frankincense helps us with calming down our nervous system. So it helps us to ground, especially if you're taking it in a very pure, clean, high form, which I do with the spagyric. So it helps you to ground, like to find this. For me, what it feels like is often this energy of like it just calms down in my mind and brings me more into my body and actually more into my feet. So it's my go-to remedy when I'm walking out there in this busy world, in these busy cities, and I just feel like super overwhelmed with all the senses and all the noises. I take a little bit of frankincense and it just feels like, oh, I'm back to myself. I feel myself again. Super gorgeous. And it's also, I love gifting it to people because usually the face I see when they take one or two drops is just like, oh my goodness, what did you give me here? This is what my body has been craving, but I didn't know it. Because again, we as a society, we live very much in our activated nervous system. So we're constantly pushing, we're constantly racing, we're moving, we're doing more and more and more. But our body, our being actually craves more calmness, more like whoosh, softness. And we're not doing that. So a plant like that, this is why a plant like that, our body reacts so strongly to it because it's basically what we desire. It's this calmness, this softness, because a lot of the healing in our body, it happens when the body is in a calm state. So because we often have so much stress, our cortisol level is super high. We actually, because of that, don't have a restful sleep. I know it. I feel it when I'm really stressed. My sleep doesn't feel rested. I wake up in the morning and I'm still tired. It's because our body didn't really go into the deep REM sleep where the healing happens, where all the processing happens. Like in the mind, we have the processes that go through everything that happened during the day. The body gets to replenish and regenerate. And if that doesn't happen, it just we just constantly feel pressurized under stress. It doesn't feel good. So frankincense helps with just finding this grounding. And just now when I'm speaking about this, my mouth is like, give me some frankincense. So let's do that. And I'll come back to you in a second. Yeah, it's a funny thing. Like, who am I to speak about a frankincense? And I do have the plant next to me, but I could also take it inside my body because, yes, we do have the ability to connect with plants solemnly through them being in our field or in our room. But obviously, if they are inside of our body, especially because I speak about the plant, it gets a little bit more powerful and stronger and a bit more refined, I would say. So yeah, frankincense is definitely my go-to plant that I carry with me everywhere I go. Also the smell, because the smell has such a calming effect on my body, but especially the spaguric that I can take inside. So this is, I think, such an underestimated plant for this effect on our nervous system, which is what we crave, and also because of working on all the inflammations in our body. And I think we've only tapped into like this percentage of what frankincense actually can do. I am dreaming about hosting frankincense ceremonies. I always say it's time we take back the churches because the church can be everywhere. We are the church. Our body is the church. Our being is the church. Any space we create can be the church. So, why not create ceremonies where we come together, we take frankincense, we go into this soft and grounded stage, and through that, what happens is as soon as we ground, we have access to our divine mind. I don't know where that word is coming from. I've never used it. Okay, so that's probably what frankincense is like selling. We have access to our divine mind, which is when I see it, it looks like this golden kind of walnut shaped brain that is just floating like a little bit up here, like just turning in this gorgeous way. And I see that a lot of us humans, we are disconnected from this divine mind. We're not actually functioning from that, or we're not accessing that, because to be able to access this divine mind, we need to be calm in our being, we need to be calm in our state, we need to trust, and we need to be able to know that that is possible. So frankincense helps us to connect to that. So what is the divine mind? Can you please give us a little bit more information on that? Because I'm like, where are we? So the divine mind is something that is different from the higher self. The divine mind is kind of like the ability our mind and our brain has if we are in a calm, grounded, and integrated state of ourself. So, in this divine mind, we have access to knowledge that is beyond things that we might have understood. It's a very grounded kind of knowledge because if we connect to the higher self or to the soul or whatever else, it can be quite etheric or also transcendental knowledge that like symbols and things like that. But the divine mind is more grounded. It has a more like structured way in some form or another. So I feel like, oh, now I get it. Okay. So throughout our life, obviously, we have learned so much. And I mean, I'm not the only one here that is sitting is like I probably forgot nearly everything I've learned at school, right? The divine mind is where all of that information is stored. So we do have that ability, and this is still here, whatever we have learned, especially in this lifetime. It is a little bit also bigger than just this lifetime. I don't know what else it is, but we have access to that. And in this calm state, we can actually access it and speak from that and act from that. But we are often not in this state. So it feels really like sitting in a meditation position, connecting with frankincense, and then put a recorder next to me and I could just give all the answers and the information. And I actually really like that because it's true if we are nervous, if we are agitated. I mean, we all know that. That's why this test and exam scenarios in school is so bad because we can't test people when they are under stress. to have all the knowledge. This is such a weird, shitty scenario. Like, yeah, how about giving the calm state? And that's where we can access. Yeah, it is a ridiculous one. It's really a ridiculous one. So we see that we as a society, we're constantly put under stress and we are taught to function under stress at a very early age because this is the only thing that is deemed necessary because we need to get more done in less time. And this is also, I feel, I struggle a lot with that even now. Whereas what about if we actually will get more shit done if we're in a calm state? That is crazy because pressure is never good. Pressure doesn't help. So frankincense is really here to teach us about less pressure, less stress, more relaxation, more groundedness. It actually feels quite masculine in that I can sense if we are speaking about polarities, but I definitely feel like I can sit here more stable. I can speak more from a calm mind, and it's just it feels like a lot of clarity is dropping in. So most likely that's why I like it because it's a part of me that is like, yeah, that it actually gets shit done with this calm manner. Yeah, I can't believe that I just accessed so much of like this grounded beautiful part of frankincense, even though I know there is much more, but apparently that is more important to speak about. I can't wait for humanity to discover this gorgeous plant and also to start connecting with it in a conscious, holistic way. I've spoken about that before. I don't want to inspire people to just start abusing another plant and use it for another substitute as a drug or replacement for whatever is missing in your life. Stop doing that. Take them as accessoires, as like additional things in your life, as gorgeous, beautiful supporters. And I think in that we can create such a gorgeous, beautiful, powerful space. But this is our choice. We as humanity, we need to connect back to nature and see that this we are supporting them as they are supporting us, and it's not we're abusing it. So this is a powerful one in whatever way. Now, I want to say that again. So don't start abusing frankincense. Start connecting with the gorgeousness of that plant. And yeah, frankincense ceremonies will happen, I'm sure, and I'm sure it's going to be very popular. It's like I said, it's time to take it back to us and away from it solemnly being used in churches. Stand for that, claim that, want that, desire that. So please like and subscribe this. Write in the comment what was your biggest takeaway on that and follow because there is more plant stories gonna happen.